So now you have a meeting or a collision of original Western European Christian source Jew hatred in Europe, meeting with Islamic, Arab, Eastern Jew hatred, which migrates to the West, and now what we call the Red and Green Alliance, the communist, local communist, and the Islamist, because both are against the system, and Jews are part of the system. So if you want to destroy the system, destroy the Jews.
Welkom bij deze podcast van Shalom uit Israël. Mijn naam is Smadar Morag. En vandaag gaan we ons licht laten schijnen op dokter Mordechai Kedar. Hij is echt een expert op het gebied wat alles wat te maken heeft met het Midden-Oosten. Welkom, Shalom.
Pleasure to be here.
Let's talk about Holland, the Netherlands.
Okay.
How can you explain the Dutch behavior toward Israel that is changing? I mean, Holland used to be a very pro-Israel country, and lately you see that the Dutch government really changes its way of thinking about Israel and also the Jewish population, not only Israel.
First of all, I think that profoundly the anti-Semitism or Jew hatred, actually, Jew hatred in Holland is as bad as it is in many other European countries. And the proof is that the percentage of Jews who were exterminated during the Second World War from Holland is the highest.
It is.
It's the highest.
80%.
And those who hunted the Jews were not the Germans, were the Dutch. Their neighbors who knew them, who knew who they were, and where they were hiding, and unfortunately, this is the situation. Today we see it again. I must here say that what made the change recently is the migration, the Islamic migration, because especially during the last 2 years since the October 7, 2023, because what we see today all over the world. In Australia, in Britain, even in the United States, the places which are inflicted by Jew hatred are places to which Islamic migration came the most. Countries which invited, during the last 15 years, let's say since the eruption of the Arab Spring in 2011, especially in Germany in 2015, the countries which welcomed a bigger number of refugees from the Middle East, these countries, you can see very easily, the Jew hatred is bigger.
And do you think that the government doesn't speak out and be, for example, much more pro-Jewish or pro-Israel because they're afraid about the consequences in their own country?
Look, what happens in European countries is something which comes from different direction. In every European country, the elections are local elections. Every district or every constituency sends its parliament member or members to the parliament. Whenever Muslims settle in a place, now the candidates are competing with each other who will give more benefits, more health, more education, more housing, more money, more social security to the migrants.
Yes.
So migrants come more and more. Now, some migrants, Muslim migrants, definitely impose on their delegates anti-Israeli agenda because they carry the Jew hatred from the Arab world which they come from. So now you have a meeting or a collision or conjunction of original Western European Christian source Jew hatred in Europe, meeting with Islamic, Arab, Eastern Jew hatred, which migrates to the West, and now what we call the Red and Green Alliance, the communist, local communist, and the Islamist, because both are against the system. And Jews are part of the system. And Jews actually are protected by the system. So if you want to destroy the system, both the communists and the Islamists destroy the Jews.
Wow, that explains for me a lot why the lefties are so anti-Israel. That really, really, now I get it.
Because Jews are the money, as they believe. Jews are the media. Jews are in the government. And therefore, if they want to destroy the capital and the government, they have to destroy the Jews first.
Mm-hmm. You know that in England there are already Sharia courts. If I remember well, something 40, 50, you know exactly how much?
At least.
At least. Do you know if in Holland there are already Sharia courts? I mean, of course, not legal, because Holland, according to the law, you need to obey to the Dutch law.
Right. I really don't know, because they don't announce it usually. People know about the Sharia court in their neighborhood, but they will not inform it to the authorities.
But for example, England, people know that there is a Sharia court. Do they also give punishment to Muslim population according to Sharia? Or it's only something theatrical, in theory, not really practical?
Most of the Sharia courts in Europe deal with the personal status. Means marriage, divorce. To the most, they deal with children, the custodianship of children.
Okay, but will they expand, you think, about the subjects they will be giving their opinion about?
Quran says that the believers order each other to do the good things and forbid on each other to do the bad things. So they have committees of ordering the good things, and forbidding the bad things. These committees usually deal with gender-connected violence. Let's say if boys are harassing girls, they will be punished by this committee.
Which is a good thing, that they interfere with that.
They want their girls to be protected.
Yes, of course.
So if somebody harasses girls, they
take it seriously.
Or if somebody drinks alcoholic beverages, especially in public, or they don't like boys and girls to sit in restaurants after sunset. So if they go in the street, this committee, like a few people who are like policemen, self-nominated policemen, if they see boys and girls, Muslims, sit in the restaurant after sunset, they will go in and send them home.
What is a no-go zone? Can you explain to my viewers?
It's a district or neighborhood which police and others are not allowed to go into, because they are purely Muslim neighborhoods.
What do you mean not allowed?
They will not allow. If they see the police, they will turn the car over. Yes.
So then there is no control, nothing by government.
If you Google no-go zones, you can see that they have signs. In Britain, at least I saw, that they don't allow alcoholic beverages to be brought into these neighborhoods. They don't want dogs, because the dog is impure.
And not a pure animal.
Only blind people can use dogs.
Can have a dog.
A dog will lead them. They don't allow drugs, and they don't allow prostitution.
Listen, there are some good things in it. I'm listening to them like, wow, that's a good thing. No drugs, no crime. But does it really work? Are those areas indeed peaceful areas?
Peaceful under the Islamic Sharia. If you dare to violate the Sharia, you will be punished by the committee. Nobody will know about this.
And the question is also, what will the punishment be?
Of course. They are not allowed to have bodily punishments like lashes or even worse. Look, you see in Europe, unfortunately, honor killings as well.
What do you think the future will look like in Holland, in Europe, in the next 10 years?
Well, demography actually is the name of the problem. The Europeans do not bring children, much less. I think Western Europe in average is 1.3.
Holland is 1.2. If
Even
it's
less.
still Yes.
Look, average of Western Europe,
Yeah.
because Greece is a bit more, Italy is a bit more.
It's nothing.
Scandinavia
It's nothing.
is one child per woman.
Yes.
Russia as well, by the way. So these countries, I think in like 50 years, the societies will be very little.
I thought it would be sooner than 50 years.
In 50 years, you're going to have zoos with blonde people in the cages to see how the human beings, how the Europeans once looked like.
No.
Because otherwise they will not be blonde anymore there. Because they will be all, either they run away.
Wow.
Because the human landscape of Europe is changing dramatically. Once, in order to see the Islamic neighborhoods in Paris, for example, you should have gone to Saint-Denis or Barbès. These are the Islamic neighborhoods. Today, you go to the Champs-Élysées.
Yes, there's a good joke about it. Yochai Sponder. He's a stand-up comedian, Israeli stand-up comedian. And he said that when he was in school, he had a choice. He could learn Arabic or French. So he said that all of his friends choose to speak French because they want to go to Paris. And then he said, and I choose Arabic, and now I can go to Paris.
Right.
So it's a nice joke about that.
If you go to Molenbeek in Brussels,
Molenbeek.
It is like you are in Morocco.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes. The whole landscape is changing.
40% of Brussels are Muslims. 40%. Don't forget, London has a Muslim mayor already for years, Khan. Okay.
We also have in Holland, in Rotterdam.
In Rotterdam for many years already.
Yes, and not only that. After the 7th of October, Rotterdam wasn't showing like in other cities that they had like a flag and supporting Israel. Immediately after the 7th of October, Rotterdam didn't do that because he didn't want, like we say in Hebrew, balagan in his city.
Yeah.
He didn't want mess in his city.
So I think that Western Europe will not exist anymore in 30, 40 years already, because not only people do not give birth, they will run away.
Where to? You know that many Christians ask me, can I come to Israel?
Maybe to America, if America will not follow Europe, because what you see in America today, you saw in Europe 15 years ago.
The same
process of Islamization. So if America is not careful enough, in 15 years, America will look like Europe. Today.
And where Israel is going to be, this little country.
Look.
Where are we going to be in 10
Israel
or 20
goes
or 30 years?
the opposite direction. By the way, this is why this is one of the reasons of the tension between Israel and Western Europe. Because Israel keeps its nationality, Israel keeps its culture, Israel is not open to mass migration from the Arab world, and the Europeans actually envy Israel, or envy us Jews, for the fact that we have a state which keeps our national identity.
How do you know that they envy it?
I hear it.
Yes?
I
Leaders
go
tell you?
once in a while to Western Europe. I was in Holland recently. There were years which I was going to Britain also until 2014. I used to go there like every other year to speak, and people told me Israel should be copied and
Wow.
become here. Because here people gave up on their identity. Look at France. Look at Germany.
Yes.
Germany, Germans today, and you know what? In other countries in Western Europe, what they are, either architects or engineers or high-tech workers or lawyers or accountants or politicians. Who are the drivers? Migrants.
Yes.
Who are the pharmacists?
Yes.
Migrants. Who are working? The blue collar, the blue collar collar.
Police. Also.
Police.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And they maintain law and order. Okay. And who are the workers in the factories? Who are assembling cars? Who are assembling?
Yes, of course. I get it completely. We have to end.
The European economy today depends on migrants.
Well, I know they cannot do without them.
So they cannot get rid of them.
Yes.
And this is the problem.
I wanted to know, because we have to stop. Wrap it up, like they say. Why does Al Jazeera, for example, interview you and want to hear your voice?
Because I speak like a Zionist. There were years which they wanted to hear the Zionist voice, so they invited me much more. But more recently, they became totally recruited for Hamas.
And now they don't want to hear your voice anymore?
Look, in the third day of the war, it was Monday. The war started on Shabbat. And on Monday, I was interviewed by Al Jazeera English. And I have already seen what happened in Gaza. What they did.
What happened in Otefaza, you mean? What happened in Israel?
Envelope, yeah.
Yes.
What happened to the girls, what happened to, I saw dreadful things. And when I spoke Al Jazeera, it was on live, I spoke about ISIS Hamas. They were so angry at me.
Why?
Because it was on live broadcast. And to connect Hamas with ISIS was totally against their message, because they say Hamas are freedom fighters, are not ISIS. ISIS are terrorists, but Hamas are not. This was the message of Al Jazeera. And here I am, like 4 or 5 times in this interview, I spoke about ISIS Hamas, and the editor called me after this and shouted at me. But it was already said.
But for example, Piers Morgan, did he invite you once?
Not yet.
No, I think it's time.
After he watches your podcast, he will.
Of course, he's a big follower.
And if he contacts you,
then he's like, if Mordechai was at your podcast, I need to invite him for sure. Would we behave as Israel different if all of us would speak Arabic?
Of course.
You think so?
First of all, the October 7 would not happen, because everything which they did was in the media. I wrote about this before, like half a year before the war.
So you knew?
I know. I didn't know when. I didn't know. I predicted an all-out war from all the fronts together. Hamas started.
Did you talk about it on
talked
Israeli
about this.
television? Did you warn officials?
I wrote in Makor Rishon in April 23 about this, and there were those who believed me, but they didn't. I wasn't specific about the date. I didn't know.
Yes.
But I definitely wrote. You can read it until today, even in English, about the all-out war, which will be waged against Israel from 7 fronts: Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Iran maybe as well, and the domestic arena as well. And
it's because you speak Arabic and because you understand.
And actually, I got the information from Arabs, Christian Arabs, who live in Western Europe.
Wow.
I got the information from them because they got it from Iraq.
So if you have so much insight, what is going to be with Israel the next 2 years?
Well, I think that...
You see, I said it's the end of the podcast. Look, I'm still with you
I am compulsive optimistic.
What do you mean compulsive
about the future of Israel? Because the problems which are which our neighbors, especially our enemies, are sinking in these problems. Look at Iran. Look at Syria. Even Jordan is on the verge of bankruptcy. Look at Egypt with what now Ethiopia is doing to them with the water. Look at the only normal countries are in the Gulf, and we have normalization with them. Our neighbors, look at Iran today. Turkey is also in big problems, economic problems. All our enemies, or potential enemies, or enemies, are in big problems compared to Israel. Look what happened here. The stock market is rocketing up.
How can you explain that?
The price of the American dollar is sinking down. It lost like 10% only in the last few weeks. And it means that the Israeli currency becomes more and more valuable.
Unbelievable. It's really according to prophecy, by the way. The things which happening.
People analyze the situation. Israel, after 2 years and more of war, today is stronger than it was before.
Crazy.
Stronger than it was before. Although I don't ignore the problems, but with all the problems, with the war, with everything, Israel came out, as a victor in the Middle East. Look at Iran today. Look at what happened in Syria. Assad was kicked out by the jihadists. Look at Hezbollah. Look at Hamas. Of course, or the Yemenites. The job is not done yet, not finished. But definitely, the situation of Israel today is way much better than it was 2 years ago. If Israel will be strong, united, domestically.
Also, we have to be united.
Deterring.
Yes.
Disproportional in its reactions.
We have to be disproportional.
And invincible. Israel will have temporary peace. It will be called Hudna by the tribe culture. It will be called Hudaybiyah peace by Islamists. But it will have a temporary peace. If Israel will be strong, united, consolidated, disproportional, and invincible forever, Israel will enjoy a temporary peace forever.
Wow. With that, we will close our podcast. And Be'ezrat Hashem, with God's help, we will have peace. Thank you so much for your insights. And we've learned a little bit more about Islam, about Quran, and
Study
a little
Arabic.
bit about Ken. Aywa. Shukran.
La shukran wajib.
Thank you very much for this interview. Ik hoop dat jullie ook, net als ik, veel geleerd hebben van deze podcast met Dr. Mordechai Kedar. Als jullie vragen hebben, zet ze onder deze podcast. Like het, comment, volg. Tot de volgende podcast. Shalom.